All right, welcome to this final live session for the NFP. This is the very last non-farm payroll news event for this year. So we expect to see much market volatility as this news event is going to be pumped into the market for traders to seek for valid trading opportunities. Okay, our job here is to go through the charts, especially the American dollar crosses, searching for those pairs where we might find valid trading opportunities to take based on the news impact. Okay, well, as you know, we are even more careful now. We are not going to be taking trades anyhow. We are going to be taking trades that fulfill all of our trading conditions, all of the boxes as per the trading rules. If there is no trading opportunity, we will not take any trades. Okay. All right, I believe you can see my screen and hear my voice. If you can do that, and if this is your very first time joining the live screen, joining the live session, then please simply, as you are moving to the live, sorry about that, as you are moving to the live trading room, simply click on your settings tab right here and ensure that your video quality is set to the 480 pixel. Just to be sure that you get a clearer view at your end. Okay. All right, now let's quickly very quickly move into the forex charts and conduct our analysis before the news event. Okay, you are now looking into my own forex charts. We have all of the pairs fire up for us to analyze. I have taken all American dollar pairs, all American dollar crosses to one end of my screen, so we can look at those American dollar pairs before looking into all the charts. Okay, it's about 28 minutes before the news announcement is being released, so let's go through all the charts and see those particular levels we might want to be paying attention to, looking at price reactions very closely at those levels for us to take our trades. All right, let's begin with gold. I am sure a lot of you have called for the gold chart to be analyzed. Let's begin from the weekly time frame. Now, this is the weekly time frame for gold. That's the XAU USD. You can see that right here. Okay, I have been able to zoom in my chart so you can get a clearer picture at your end. Now, gold has been in a slightly uptrend time frame, although do we call this an uptrend? It is not really an uptrend because price failed to take out the previous swing high. Okay, so it is not an uptrend, it is just a range, a sideways price bias, although we had an upper swing low, all right, higher swing low right here, but the top remains the same. So it is a range. Price has been sideways for so many weeks. All right, this is where we are paying attention right here, this one right here. Okay, if you draw your line, although some of you have said I have an excellent skill drawing lines, nothing more to that. Well, that is your opinion. Okay, if you draw this line, well, you will be very correct. Okay, that's a level of former support, was acting as support right here, taken out right now. So you can see that price is trading below that level. If you also keep this one, this area here, you will also be correct, as price has been finding support around that zone. Okay, all right, so that means this pair price right now is sitting at an eye with free of traffic toward push to the downside. Let's see the daily time frame. In the daily time frame, you can see how price has now given us a lower swing low. This was the previous swing low. We are now seeing a lower swing low. That means this trend line is valid. Okay, within that area of the lower swing low, we had price finding support around that zone for some time. So this level here is valid as a level of our previous support. So if price goes back up, we should be finding resistance there to look for short entries. Again, this is not a call for you to go short once price comes back here. Many of you are making the mistake when you watch this video in the YouTube channel. Whenever I say when price comes here, we are going to be look for short entries. No, you are not supposed to click on your sell button as soon as price gets here. Please, there are specific price action that we tend to see based on our trading strategies before we go short. Most times price comes around here, begin to push again to the upside, and unfortunately some of you must have clicked on your sell button. Don't do that. If it doesn't conform with your trading strategy, please do not do that. We have our trading strategies and we follow them strictly. Whenever price moves towards a key level, if we don't find an entry, we don't take it, and of course we update that in the live trading room. All right, so gold is sitting on a highway free of traffic. There is no level of support. The next level of support is this one here. So this is a highway free of traffic. It is only the NFP that will be able to decide what next. As you know, the news announcement is capable of driving price to the upside or keep pushing price to the downside. So it's only the news announcement that can decide where price wants to go. In the 4 hours time frame, steady push to the downside. Really, just more of a straight move. Bad pullback, never retested, crash to the downside. This level was not retested, so even if we are following this, we wouldn't have taken any trade. So all of this here, there was no trading opportunity for us in this pair gold. The 1 hour time frame, that's the straight fall we were talking about before the sideways bias. Sideways bias here as well. All right, that was the bad pullback. No trading opportunity was missed. So here price is far away from our key level of former support, which may now be resistance. The news impact is quite far. Well, let's see what's going to happen with the when the news is being released. Otherwise, there is no close by technical level to take any trade there. Let's see. Okay, let me just quickly look into the American dollar against the Canadian dollar in the let's say the weekly time frame. Now, this pair has remained in a particular area for several weeks. All right. How many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 6 weeks. 6 weeks in a row, price has remained within this junction of the chart. In my technical view, I am seeing that this is an optimal area for price to turn around to the downside, but the turn is not happening that easy. It is only the NFP that will be able to decide that right now, either for further pushes to the upside or for a turn to the downside. And the possibility of price pushing to the upside is quite slim, very slim, because we have a heavy level of resistance around here. Okay, that's a heavy level of resistance. You cannot actually see that. Let me not really go backward. That's a level of former support coming in there as resistance. Also, this harmonic bounces here coming in there as resistance. So if price is able to make any push to that area, it's likely going to face some resistance. It's likely going to be resisted to come back down. Again, we have also said the overall pattern here in the American dollar against the Canadian dollar, the weekly time frame, might be time for price to come back down, because we have seen these harmonic bounces. We are likely to see another one somewhere here. We are likely to see price come back down to retest a particular level here for a bounce or a breakout, or we might see another one here for a possible expanding triangle. Okay, at any rate, this is an area I wouldn't want to click on my buy button. I have said that many times. Even though I am holding some aggressive trades that are sitting in a loss right now, I am still very optimistic that this is a high point for price to come back down. Okay, all right. No entries now. Let's wait for that news announcement. In the daily time frame, we are seeing some hesitation. I was actually following this. Let me draw that line. I was actually following this trend collapse. That's the focal point. This is the order bounce. That was the trend collapse that I was following. Let's zoom in this chart so I can explain again better. Okay, I do understand that this is a solid level of support. Okay, I do understand that, and of course I do understand the importance of this reversal candle at that particular level of support. But with this line, price was clearly sitting below that level, which could have acted as a resistance as price goes to retest that level. Of course, this is clearly the Canadian dollar interest rate news effect. Okay, those two candles are clearly the Canadian dollar news effect. If we find a red candle close from there on, somewhere in here, we still have the green light to click on our sell button on Monday next week, stop loss somewhere in there for price to keep pushing to the downside. Okay, again, I am not saying you should click on your sell button right now. Please don't do that. The news will be out any moment soon, and we'll only be reading a price reaction based on that news impact. Price is capable of pushing to that point of confluence before any reversal. Again, we have this double top. Price is capable of reacting off that area before coming back down or even breaking through. So let's wait for the news effect to see what's going to happen around in here. In the 4 hours time frame, not really clear. You can see that a wide price range. Actually, if you are trying to be more exact, in the 4 hours time frame, you could be finding a possible expanding triangle. You could be finding a possible expanding. You could possibly be finding this expanding triangle where price has been in so much confusion. This is market confusion, not knowing where to go to, not knowing what direction it wants to take. So let's wait for the news impact to see if price will be able to move away from this junction of the chart. The best trading decision you want to take here is to allow price move away, break out from this sideways price bias that we have for either a clear push to the upside or to the downside. For now, price is in the middle of nowhere. Just avoid the chart until we see a good sign based on that news reaction. It's about 17 minutes to the news event. The Australian dollar against the American dollar. Let's see the weekly time frame. Price is now trading around a level of support. This is a key level of support in the weekly time frame. That news announcement to close as a pin bar. That would be a high quality signal for next week, and price for next week should immediately push to the upside. Okay, so this is something to keep an eye on. Right now price is sitting around that support zone, so let's wait and see what the reaction will be. So we should be following price closely in the shorter time frame. We can keep this level here. Just a straight move to the downside. It was a straight move, not tradable. In the 1 hour time frame, you can actually see that straight move I was talking about. Any level to draw here, they are micro levels. Okay, let's keep to this low. It's such a micro level. Let's just remove it. There is really no significant level to draw in our intraday time frame. Let's just remove it and wait for the news effect. The American dollar against the Swiss franc, surprisingly, price has constantly pushed to the upside for the entire week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Price has remained constantly bullish with this pair, although a slow move, very crawly type of price behavior, but very difficult to trade. There is nowhere you can find a very good entry. Let's say you were trading this breakout from this top. Okay, let's say you were trading that, you clicked on your buy button, your stop loss would have been hit with that little swing right there. Okay, then price took off again, breaking this high here. You took your long entry, your stop loss would have been hit by that swing right there. You see that? Another one here. Then price just I think this is the one that tries to make the best move in all of this price action here, but the breakout condition was really bad, and this is an area of resistance as well. So it's although it's a bullish one, but it's a difficult one to trade. In the weekly time frame, price is drawing very close to the level of resistance again. That is not an area to also click on your buy button. You need to be absolutely careful. I am also seeing this key area here, that key area, but it is not really significant as well. This is confluence. If we find this current candle banging off that level based on the news announcement to see a pin bar of that particular area, we are going to have a high quality signal to go short by next week, not this week, for an immediate move to the downside. In fact, in the 4 hours time frame, let's see, it's quite far. It's quite far from current price and level. I am not sure that effect can go high up there, but at any rate, let's just use our impact will look like. The American dollar against Japanese yen, another one that we actually took a short entry for this week, somewhere in here. Okay, but with too much of price hesitation, we got the early hint to close the trade out, even for a small profit. So we went out of this trade safely. We all got the hint that this week is NFP week, and on every NFP week, price tend to be abnormal in its movement. So with that abnormal price volatility, we closed that trade out. Right now, price is still trading around a very problematic area. It's still trading around a very problematic area. So we are also going to be watching price around this area for some reactions. Okay, this is the 1 hour time, the 4 hours time frame. Not really very good price action, as you can see here. After this sideways move, we saw this straight price push to the upside with very poor structural levels of support and resistance. Not really clear. Let's wait for the news announcement. How about the New Zealand dollar against the American dollar, the 1 hour time frame? In fact, you can clearly see how price has been sideways for so many days. It's like a war zone. For so many days, it's like a war zone. Okay, again, not a tradable market, but let's wait and see the type of price condition that we are going to get for this pair. I have been very optimistic that price should be pushing to the upside in this pair, but it's not happening. In the 1 hour time frame, we are seeing this. It's just 10 minutes to the news announcement. Price is already getting some shock right here. This is a flat top triangle. It's a flat top triangle. If price breaks to the upside, we should be looking for some long entries there. Keep that. Wait for the market reaction. The sterling pounds against the American dollar. The sterling pound is one of the worst, most volatile pair for this week. Price has been extremely volatile with this currency. Any of the sterling pounds crosses, although price has also been in a sideways bias, but it has been very, very volatile. the sterling pounds against the American dollar, we need to wait to see price reaction as well. This is the next level of resistance. Let's see what will happen around here. If price is able to spike to that point, we will see the reaction for a possible down move. The euro against the American dollar, nice fall to the downside, fantastic one here. But again, just like the American dollar against the Swiss franc, this trend in here is also not tradable. Let's say, for instance, this is where you were looking for your short entries, okay? Right there, price made the pullback. Nice pullback. You took your short entry right there for a nice move to the downside, where your stop loss would have been hit by that, okay? If you were trading the market flow strategy. Then you came in here again, took another short entry somewhere in there. Plenty of hesitation. Price came to a trigger or stop losses before this silly move to the downside. Well, all of this again is not tradable as per our trading strategies. Okay, now let's look into the daily time frame. Remember, we were talking about price being bullish with the euro against the American dollar. But as usual, during NFP week, the abnormal price behavior tends to set in. Okay, we have seen that pullback. Price is now sitting at a critical zone. A critical zone, only the NFP will be able to change a price direction, either for further pushes to the downside or a reversal for that upward move. For this pair, let's mark this area. We are going to mark this zone. Let's mark this zone. That is the key area to look for price reaction. This is where we want to see a price reacting off. Okay, it's a key level of support. You really do not want to click on your sell button against that level until price breaks below. So in the 4 hours time frame or in the 1 hour time frame, we shall be watching price here to see the type of reaction we are going to get off this key area. All right, the news announcement will be coming out in the next 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Based on the fact that we do not have valid setups that fulfills our trading strategies, we are likely going to wait for another 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes after the news announcement to be able to spot valid trading opportunities. So for now, we have only drawn our key levels of support and resistance. So after 30 minutes, we are going to be looking into the charts once more, going through all the time frames for all American dollar crosses to see if we find any valid hint to take a trade. And if we do, we are going to be taking it live. All right, that is it. I am so not happy with the sterling pounds against the New Zealand dollar, even though I have the hint that price will be pushing to the downside any moment soon. Seeing this type of price behavior is really saddening. Okay, just let it keep pushing. It made the breakout pullback already in the 15 minutes time frame. That's a breakout pullback, a continuation move to the downside. Okay. Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen, nothing there. Sterling pounds against the Japanese yen. Final stroke to that level of resistance to take out, possibly trigger all stop losses. But it's still too early. You cannot judge. Let's wait for this candle to close. That's a candle to keep an eye on. Same thing happening across all sterling pounds pairs. Here we should be looking for a trend collapse. This 1 hour trend is collapsing right now. The price closed somewhere in the air and it pulled back to that area. We should be looking for short entries. Let's keep that. This is a messy one, a range. Euro against the Canadian dollar. We were actually following this pair in the weekly time frame. With that pin bar, if you remember, we did analyze this pair. You can see we are actually anticipated that market confusion around this pin bar, and you can see this week candle more of a sign of market confusion. It's more of a doji. The bears took price down, the bulls took it back up. No clear directional hint. Even if you are taking a trade there, it should still be around your entry zone. Sterling pounds against the Swiss franc in the daily time frame. This is a very big pin. Price is reacting off the upper boundary of that channel. It's still too early. We are actually going to wait for that to close. And of course, there's the weekly level of resistance for the sterling pounds against the Swiss franc. This is the weekly line, so we need to also wait for that weekly candle to close. If this weekly candle closes a pin bar, then we have the green light to look for short opportunities. You can see that a key level of former support. That is where price is now acting as resistance. So it's to keep an eye on the weekly time frame. All sterling pounds tend to be going down. No valid entry signal at this time. 2 minutes, 2 more minutes to the NFP. Nice one. That's a nice trade for you, Alexander. 2 more minutes to the NFP. Euro against the sterling pounds, again a key level of support being retested. We are going to also be keeping an eye on that candle. It is too early, so we need to wait for the close as well. Okay, just take a quick these are all sideways price bias. New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen. Okay, let's go back to the American dollar cross. It's 2 more minutes to the news announcement. Let's see what's going on there. Let's keep an eye on the euro against the American dollar. Okay, it's trading around that area. Let's see what's going to happen. Just a minute, about 30 seconds, the news announcement. It's about time. Sterling pounds are losing some strength. Okay. Still a bit early. So we can look into the news calendar to see the outcome. Let's see what the outcome looks like. Still trying to refresh that. Right, seems to be good for the good numbers for the American dollar, but we are not seeing that move in that direction. We are not seeing the move in the direction. Forecast was 198k job, but we got 228. 228. We are not seeing that yet. Good for the American dollar, but not seeing that push to the downside. Is the last NFP news announcement for the year. Need to give it some time. Not much of price reaction here at all. You see, most times the price tends to move in the opposite direction of the news announcement. The news outcome was good for the American dollar, but you can see how price is pushing in the opposite direction. Not much of price reaction. No entry seen yet. No entry seen yet. We'll keep monitoring price for about the next 1 hour. This is something to watch, but it's still too early. You need that candle to close. Should be a trading opportunity for next week. During the weekend market analysis, we talked about the sterling pounds against the Canadian dollar, how this could be a possible level of resistance. Price came all the way to retest that level, and we are still seeing some hesitation. That is also actually not an area you want to be clicking on your buy button against. Euro against the sterling pounds, key level of support. Also keep an eye here. Still too early, we need that candle to close. Okay, we need to wait. There is no valid trading opportunity anywhere right now. Hello, Saraj. Very quiet news effect. How can the NFP be this quiet? Yes, I agree with you. The euro sterling pounds, I've seen that in the daily time frame as a channel. I've seen that. The New Zealand dollar against the American dollar, I have expected strength coming from the New Zealand dollar axis, but that's taking too long. I will not be clicking on my sell button on this pair. I will be looking for long opportunities, especially that have this flat top triangle, but it's taking too long. You can see how a price kept mounting pressure to the upside while giving us a higher swing lows. Eventually it's breaking to the upside, so any pullback could give a nice trade to the upside, only if you're familiar with the market flow strategy. Okay, the breakout is just an aspect, and that tends to be happening right now. That is just one aspect. You also need to see the pullback, then the bounce before you want to trade. All right, euro against the American dollar is still trading around the yes, we've talked about that before. The New Zealand dollar against the American dollar. It's still trading around that K zone. Let's see what's going to happen around that area. I would have loved to see price push down, then going back up to give us a prototypical fake breakout. That's what I would have loved to see. But the price reaction of that news announcement is really minimal. It's really minimal of all news announcements. NFP is one of the deadliest news events. I am also keeping my eye on the sterling pounds against the New Zealand dollar. I know for sure that this pair has reached an exhaustion point and is ready to go down. I actually made some trades here that didn't go well because of market volatility with this pair. But at any rate, I am still watching this pair, the sterling pounds against the New Zealand dollar. Price has reached an exhaustion point and should be pushing to the downside. I have not seen a valid entry, so we'll keep waiting. For the American dollar against the Canadian dollar, if we find a red candle close, like I said in my many reviews, be careful on how you click on your buy button. With this pair, for me, it is even safer looking for short opportunities with this pair. But at the same time, trading within this junction of the chart is quite risky. It carries a heavy degree of risk because there is no clear directional bias. Okay, price has been in a range. We need price to break out of that range. All right, they are beginning to push in the opposite direction. Watching the weekly candle right here. Let's see how this is going to close. They are beginning to push in the opposite direction. The American dollar against the Swiss franc. Looking bearish here. All right, let's zoom in this chart a bit. Seems the price is finding some resistance around that area. Okay, this as well, keep an eye on this, keep an eye on this. I really do not want to keep drawing lines. Most of you said I have an excellent skill at drawing lines, and that's all about it. Otherwise you will have one here. If you find that zone, not an area to go long, we'll keep watching, but for now there is no valid entry. All right, New Zealand dollar against the American dollar, breaking to the upside. This is the next level of resistance, but please do not trade. I have posted this chart in the Telegram group. Do not trade off this level. Do not go short of that level. Okay, price is already making a reversal around in here, so do not trade off that level. You'll be trading against that reversal hint, so don't trade off that level. Okay, let's see the sterling pounds against the American dollar. Euro against the American dollar is still tough. Tight range. Not much of reaction. No blind entry. You don't want to take any blind entry. The past few NFP news event has been like this, unlike before, where we tend to find very valid trading opportunities. You make some quick profits in a matter of a few hours. Also, you shouldn't be trading this, although it is a level of resistance, but you should not be trading that as well. If you want to go short there, you should be ready to deal with this little level of support. In this type of market, you are likely to find levels of support and resistance everywhere, so be careful. There is not just enough room in quiet markets. You don't have enough room to trade. This is a nice one coming. Hope to see that candle close the way it is right now. It's a nice one coming. Let's keep our eyes on it. Probably the last stroke to take out all of those stop losses. That's something for next week. Okay. You shouldn't be faster than price, thinking that this is to close as a pin bar and you click on your sell button right there. Don't do that. You want to see price market confusion there. Even if you are short, this is the time to close that trade out. Simply close it out. Okay. Okay, the American dollar is losing some strength. American dollar is giving out some strength here. Okay. Just keep an eye on this. The sterling pounds against the Swiss franc seems to be bearish right now. Let's keep an eye on this weekly candle. Even though we are seeing this move, we will not be taking any blind entry. I will not be clicking on my sell button. No, I will not do that. I need to wait for those confirmations. Yeah, Raj, I saw your price reaction. Okay, nothing to trade right now. Euro against the American dollar failing to break below that level. If price breaks above this falling trend line, this is the outer trend line. It is the outer trend line of this little trend that we are seeing here. If price breaks above that trend line, will be good to look for a trend collapse entry. All right, we'll be trading the trend collapse strategy. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar with the trend collapse strategy, you can look into the website. There are free trading tools. You will find the trend collapse strategy there. You will see the trend collapse strategy here. That's the very first one right here. That's it. Okay, so price is in between two key areas. This as resistance, this area as support. All right, I think since we are not having any serious bounce aside from those sterling pounds crosses, we should shut down the screen for this week and for this entire month. Live trading will be done in the Telegram channel from now on, while we put some updates on the website just for a good user interface by next year. So we will not be having further live sessions after this. This is going to be the last live session for this month. So and for this year, we will be coming back in full swing by in full force by next month, of course, next year. And we hope there is no trade. We have not found any entry. We will keep following the chart, and if there is anything to trade, we will let you know in the Telegram channel or even in the website. You'll be notified of what we want to trade. Okay, once again, thanks, and do have a fantastic time out there. Cheers and bye bye.